Good day, beloveds. I had some other things I wanted to share with you today that I didn't put in the last video that I forgot. So, what's coming to me right now is we all create animal spirits. We all create animal spirits by our own perspectives. So, how we look at life, there's an animal out there somewhere that sees life in that very same perspective. So, what's coming from us, from our animalistic nature, is points of views. And that's why there's so many different animals out there, because there's so many different varying personalities of our own animal nature. And so, when you can see life from a third perspective, meaning not just left or right, but you can also start seeing life up and down, in and out. When you're able to see through life in all of those different perspectives, you gain sort of a bird's eye point of view. And this bird's eye point of view is seeing from much further away and going much further back in time and history to see and understand what you're looking at right now and how this moment relates to you. So it kind of tells you, like, if you can see what causes every situation in your life, then you can fix it and mold it and create it according to how you want to experience life. And so that's what all of these different animals around are kind of reflecting back to us, how we see ourselves, how we're experiencing life, and how much better it could be. So think about, if you were an animal, what would you be? Okay, besides the animals that we are, right? Because we are part of the animal kingdom. So then why would you not reflect yourself in other animals if you know, are an animal? So it makes perfect sense when you stop and think about it just for a second. When you rise to a different perspective, you become a different animal and you start seeing more of those animals. Like lately, I've been seeing a lot of dragonflies. And every time you start seeing differently in life, when you look at your situation differently, you look at people differently, you control the anger, you can control the sadness and the grief, you can control the happiness, you can control all of the different emotions that we go through, because these emotions are what keeps us in an animal nature. When you can control which of those emotions that you can feel the majority of time, and you can keep from giving other people your energy, your creative powers, by being, because some low vibrational emotions keep you in a state of always feeling depleted of energy, because it's so easy for other people to take your energy when you're in a low vibrational emotion. So when you raise your frequency, when you raise that feeling of happiness and completion and love, when you raise your vibration of your waves to that frequency, then it becomes harder for people to take energy from you. You start to recycle that energy back into your whole being. And with that recycled energy, it lifts you to a higher perspective where you can feel things easier, see things easier. You get clarity and like an inner knowing that shows you why life is the way life is for different people, including yourself. And it's a very big aha moment. But I forgot what I started this video on. It's like that sometimes. But seriously, I just think that life overall is better when you're consciously creating it. And when you look at the things around you, those are your creations. Those are the things that you have manifested because of your thought process, because thoughts become things, right? Thoughts become things. What things are you creating around you? What causes and effects are you generating? Are you the cause of everything? Of course you are in your world. Everything that you come into contact with, every person, every animal, every situation, every like, every dislike, every bad moment, every laughing moment, every happy moment, every manipulative moment, every sinful and sorrowful moment. Every time you do something, it is generating an equal and opposite effect that it's kind of like you're collapsing the wave function. And whatever you collapse in that mentality is what becomes solidified into your reality. Bars. No, anyway. So, something wants you to know this tonight because it's coming out, guys, and it's trying to wake you up. And when you change something about yourself, then it changes the next person to you, because since you're creating these people that come into your world, whenever you change something about yourself, it also collapses the wave function, a bigger wave function, okay? And each one of us have an effect on the direct next person, whether it's a coworker, family member, lover, friend. You have so many different people in your life, so many different relationships. So when you change, guess what happens as a domino effect? Those relationships change. And when you change those relationships, they begin to change. And it affects the next group of people in their world. And that's how we're all connected. That's how we're all connected. In case you couldn't see it, there it is. So change yourself first. Start with you. And when you change you, you're going to change the world by default. Be a better version of yourself so that you can make somebody else smile a little bit more, sing a little bit more, play a little bit more. Those help you see when those emotions help you see when life is out of balance. Having a balance of an emotion is where you want to be. But when you live constantly in depression or sadness or anxiety, when you live constantly in hate, greed, anger, jealousy, wrath, gluttony, if I didn't say that one, there's so many more. But when you live constantly in those heavy, heavy, heavy emotions, it changes your wave function. It changes what energy you're putting out there to the world. And when you put negative energy out, then it makes somebody else feel negative. And then they pass that on to the next person. So that's how we affect each other with our feelings and thoughts and emotions. Control them, balance them, and learn to give an emotion to the person who is deserving of it. And guess what? We're all deserving of good emotions. When you can make somebody else laugh or smile, especially somebody you don't like, oh my God, it brightens the world. Because you're like, you know what? Maybe I had this person wrong. Maybe they do. Guess what? They're human too, and they have feelings. How did they look at me? Maybe I did something to make them feel that way first. Maybe I'm the cause. Maybe I'm the problem. When you take responsibility for that, just like I just did, and you look at yourself as maybe being the cause of everything in your life, you can actually change the outcome. It's like being able to go back in time and play with the pieces and change some things. Except now is the past, present, and the future. That's why it's so important, because you can always start now. Oh my God, I feel like I'm running a commercial or something for somebody. No, but this is what's coming out. This is what Spirit wants somebody to hear out there, because it keeps talking through me. And as a servant of my higher self, this is how I serve in the name of Kiana, because I am. And insert anything after that, anything I choose to be. That's because I serve no master before me. I am my master, and I master my emotions. I master my energy. I master what comes out of my mouth. I master what I allow people to see and don't see. I master me by being the version of me that I want the world to know, and that feels good to my soul and my spirit, because they're the ones that are, my soul is all I've ever been, you know. It's a collection of everything that I know and that I am and that I've always been. And so when I live in the service of my soul, of being me to the highest degree, to the very speck of energy that creates me, when I live in each moment as myself, then I can become anything. So this is, the art of reinventing the wheel. This is the art of creating yourself anew at any point. This is the art of living, the art of being. And, the more you keep doing it, the many lifetimes that you have somewhere stored in there, and you start to connect them together as, oh, this is who I've always ever been, and you master that, it's amazing. Now, I am still growing. We all are. But I am where I'm supposed to be right now. And it couldn't feel better. Being where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there, is a synchronicity of almost your past, present, and future, like all at the same time. And it makes you feel complete. And if I can just hold on to that feeling for the rest of my life, then I would be happy. I will die happy. But anyway, I've said enough. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later, guys. Peace and love.